Most people view cryptocurrency as a get rich quick gamble, but those who actually build wealth with it see something entirely different. They see a fundamental shift in how the world handles value, ownership, and trust. If you are tired of watching inflation eat your savings and you want to understand how the digital economy actually works, you are in the right place. We are going to strip away the hype, ignore the memes, and focus on the mechanics of money. To understand crypto, you first have to understand why money itself exists. For thousands of years, we relied on centralized institutions like banks and governments to act as the middlemen of value. You give the bank your money, they write down that you have it, and they decide if you can move it. They control the ledger. In 2008, a mysterious figure using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto published a 9-page white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. This was the moment everything changed. Nakamoto proposed a system that didn't need a bank. Instead, it used a decentralized ledger called a blockchain. Think of a blockchain as a digital notebook that is shared across thousands of computers globally. Every time a transaction happens, everyone has to agree that the transaction is valid. Once it is written into the notebook, it cannot be erased, edited, or hacked. This is the holy grail of digital security. It is trust through mathematics, not through institutions. Bitcoin is often called digital gold, and for good reason. It has a hard cap. Only 21 million bitcoins will ever exist. Compare that to the US dollar, where the Federal Reserve can print trillions of units at will, which inherently dilutes the value of every dollar already in circulation. Scarcity is the engine of value. When demand for Bitcoin rises against a fixed supply, the price simply has to go up. But crypto is more than just digital gold. It is also a platform. Enter Ethereum, launched by Vitalik Buterin in 2015. While Bitcoin was designed to be a currency, Ethereum was designed to be a world computer. Ethereum introduced smart contracts. These are self-executing contracts with the terms of the agreement directly written into code. Imagine buying a house without a title company, a lawyer, or an escrow agent. With a smart contract, you send the digital money, the ownership record automatically transfers to your digital wallet, and the seller receives the funds instantly. There is no middleman to take a cut or slow down the process. This technology birthed decentralized finance, or DeFi. DeFi allows you to lend, borrow, and trade assets without ever interacting with a traditional bank. You can deposit your crypto into a liquidity pool and earn interest rates that make your local savings account look like a joke. You are the bank, you hold the keys, you reap the rewards. However, wealth is not just about holding assets, it is about risk management. Crypto is notoriously volatile. In 2021, Bitcoin hit an all-time high near $69,000. By the end of 2022, it plummeted to below $16,000. If you panic when the market drops, crypto will destroy you. If you understand the long-term utility of the technology, you look at volatility as an entry point. You also need to understand the concept of Web3. The current internet, Web 2, is dominated by giants like Google, Meta, and Amazon. They own your data, they track your activity, and they monetize your existence. Web 3 flips this model. In a decentralized web, you own your data, you own your identity. You can move your digital assets across different games, platforms, and social networks seamlessly. This is the next frontier of the digital economy. So, how do people actually get rich here? It is not by chasing the latest meme coin that popped up on a Telegram channel this morning. That is gambling, and the house almost always wins. True wealth in crypto is built through three things: accumulation, patience, and utility. First, you accumulate blue chip assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum. These are the foundations of the ecosystem. Second, you exercise patience. The market moves in 4-year cycles tied to Bitcoin's halving, a programmed event where the reward for mining Bitcoin is cut in half, reducing the new supply hitting the market. This creates a supply-side shock that historically leads to massive price appreciation. Third, you study the utility. You look for projects solving real-world problems, whether it is supply chain management, cross-border payments, or decentralized identity. There is a concept called asymmetric risk. This is when the potential upside of an investment significantly outweighs the potential downside. If you put $1,000 into a savings account, you might make $50 in interest in a year. If you put $1,000 into an early stage project that solves a multi-billion-dollar problem, the upside could be 10, 50, or 100 times that amount. The risk is high, but the potential is uncapped. You have to be careful, though. The space is filled with actors who want to take your money. Never store your crypto on an exchange for the long term. Use a hardware wallet, which is a physical device that keeps your private keys offline. If you do not hold your own keys, you do not actually own your crypto. You are just a creditor to a platform that could fail. Do not be distracted by the noise. The news cycle is designed to make you reactive. When the prices are red and everyone on Twitter is screaming that crypto is dead, that is usually when the smartest money is accumulating. When everyone is talking about how they bought a yacht with a dog-themed coin, that is when the cycle is likely nearing its top. History shows that every major technological shift is initially dismissed as a toy or a scam. The internet was dismissed in the 90s. The smartphone was mocked in the 2000s. Today, those technologies define our existence. Crypto is currently in that stage of skepticism, but the underlying infrastructure is being built, audited, and adopted by major global institutions every single day. You have a choice. You can stay within the traditional financial system, where your purchasing power is slowly eroded by the mechanics of the current monetary policy, or you can step into an open, permissionless, and global system where you have full control over your financial destiny. The tools are available to anyone with an internet connection. There are no gatekeepers. There are no minimum balance requirements. There are no banking hours. The revolution is happening right now, whether you participate or not. The question is not whether crypto will change the world, because it already is. The real question is whether you will be a bystander watching the world evolve or an architect of your own future. What will you do with the next 5 years? And if you want to find out how I explained how to get rich through real estate, click on this video.